Police identified the assailants as Guilherme Taucci Monteiro, 17, and Luiz Henrique de Castro, 25. Monteiro was the leader and main planner. A man comforts a woman at the Raul Brasil State School in Suzano, Brazil, following the shooting. Credit. APAn amateur video aired by a local TV station showed children screaming, running and begging for their lives as loud shots were heard during a break at around 9:30 a.m. "This is the saddest day of my life," the campus told reporters outside the school in the São Paulo suburb of Suzano. The dead students were to be buried on Thursday, local time. Authorities identified the attackers as 17-year-old Guilherme Taucci Monteiro and 25-year-old Henrique de Castro. "The big question is, what was the motivation of these former students?" Campos said. Police officers and investigators stand outside the Raul Brasil State School in Suzano, the greater São Paulo area, Brazil. Credit. Monteiro's mother, Tatiana Taucci, told Band News while hiding her face from the camera that her son had been bullied at the school. "Bullying, they call it. ... He stopped going to school because of this," she said. She said she was surprised by his involvement and found out about the attack from the television like everyone else. Minutes before the attack, Monteiro posted 26 photos on his Facebook page, included several with a gun, and one that showed him giving the middle finger as he looked into the camera. A teenager who was injured during the shooting arrives at hospital. Credit. Futura Press. APAn. Some of the photos, he wore a black scarf with a white imprint of his skull and crossbones. No text accompanied the posts. By Wednesday afternoon, Facebook had taken down Monteiro's page. State Police Commander Marcelo Salles said he had never seen a crime like it in 34 years of policing. "It was an unspeakably brutal crime. It is horrendous." Security camera footage from the school's entrance published on the website of O Globo newspaper appeared to show Monteiro entering the school and immediately pulling a pistol out of his jeans and shooting into a group of 8 students, hitting at least 2. A former student is comforted by a friend outside the Raul Brasil State School in Suzano, Brazil. Credit. Castro appeared to enter the school a few seconds later and put a crossbow and backpack on the floor, before attacking victims with an axe. Students flooded into the entrance foyer, running into Monteiro. He grabbed one girl by the hair and punched her several times in the face. She managed to escape, and students frantically scrambled out of the school. Police arrived 8 minutes after the shooting started, and the attackers were already dead, Salles said. The assailants were trying to force their way inside a room at the back of the school where many students were hiding when police arrived. Instead of facing officers, Monteiro shot Castro and then shot himself, authorities said. Students gathered outside the school recounted harrowing attacks and seeing several bodies lying in pools of blood. Kelly Mylene Guerra Cardozo, 16, said she and other students took refuge in the school's cafeteria, locked the door and lay on the floor. "We stayed there until the door was opened. We thought it was the shooters coming to get us, but it was the police," she said. "They told us to start running." The victims were named as students Caio Limira and Caio Oliveira, both 15, Samuel Oliveira and Douglas Celestino, 16, Clayton Ribeiro, 17, school staff members Marilena Umazo, 59, and Eliana Xavier, 38, and the suspected shooter's uncle Jorge Moraes, 51. The 2 assailants spent more than a year planning their attack, which they hoped would draw more attention than the Columbine massacre, an investigator said on condition of anonymity. In the 1999 attack on Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, 2 students killed 13 people. The suspected attackers, Luiz Henrique de Castro and Guilherme Taucci Monteiro. The state school is in a middle-class municipality and has about 1,000 students aged 11 to 16, among 1,600 students. School shootings are rare in Brazil, even though the country is one of the world's most violent, with more annual homicides than any other. The last major school shooting was in 2011, when 12 children were shot dead by a former pupil in Rio de Janeiro. While gun laws are extremely strict in Brazil, it is not difficult to illegally purchase a weapon. President Jair Bolsonaro made relaxing gun control a cornerstone of his electoral campaign last year. He signed a decree earlier this year making it easier for the average citizen to keep a gun at home and extending gun licenses from 5 to 10 years. He tweeted condolences to the families of the victims, calling the attack a monstrosity and cowardice. Wednesday's shooting ignited debate among other politicians, with some saying armed teachers could have prevented the killings, while others said putting more guns on Brazilian streets would only lead to more deaths. Senator Major Olímpio, a member of Bolsonaro's party and a proponent of loosening gun legislation, made the argument hours after the rampage, "We can't let those who take advantage of this tragedy speak about how disarmament is the solution," he tweeted, adding, "Weak and shameful disarmament farce, which gave guns to criminals and prevented self-defense." Mass shootings are also rare in Brazil, but they are growing more common. In December, a man fatally shot 4 people outside a cathedral in São Paulo before killing himself. In October 2017, a student in the central city of Goiânia shot 6 classmates at his middle school. Police officers guard the entrance to the Raul Brasil State School. Credit: Marilene Gonçalves, a 51-year-old housewife who lives near the school, went outside when she heard gunshots and screams. "I opened the gate to my house, and I saw children jumping over the school's wall," she said. Salas said the gunman used at least 1.38 caliber pistol and speed loaders, along with a crossbow, knives, a compound bow and arrow and several Molotov cocktails. She gave safe harbor to several students, including one boy who was shot in the jaw. The wounded student could not speak. "I put my mobile phone into his hand, and he typed, with his dirty hands trembling, that he wanted me to call his mum," she said. São Paulo Governor João Doria said, "As he stood outside the school, I was shocked with the scenes I saw inside that school. It is the saddest thing I have seen in my life." Reuters, mass shooting guns Brazil world politics.